Okay, so this morning I made a quick video and I did make a mistake in it. However, it was to respond to this claim that a video on Facebook was faked, which it may or may not have been. I wasn't making any judgments, I'm just providing a view on that for people to make their own judgment. So this is the company claiming that it was faked. It says most of the heavy lifting was done by the Washington Post. And here is the video describing the changes they are claiming was done to the video.
And slurred. This video, posted to the Politics Watchdog Facebook page, has more than 47,000 shares and 2.4 million views. It shows Pelosi speaking at the Center for American Progress Ideas Conference on May 22nd. But when compared to the Washington Post's verified feed of the same event, it is clear the Facebook video is playing at 75% of the original speed.
We want to give...
Okay, so they're claiming that the video is playing at 75% of the original speed, and they give a tiny clip, not a long one. Now, I did something similar this morning by speeding it up. My mistake was I just simply added the 25% back to it. It's being stupid, I should have added 1.33% back to it. Or 1.33 multiplier to get that 25% back. But for some reason, the video got struck down on YouTube. It has been restored, and then it's been marked as fake advertisement as well. I'm not trying to sway anybody, so I decided I should make a video clarifying that I'm not trying to put any sway into this. I'm just going through the process of showing people how this manipulation would be done and telling them to make their own decision at the end. So I'll go through it once more here. The first thing I'm going to do is open a program called Audacity, and I'm going to pull the audio from the original video. So on mine, I still have it named as this after the site I used to grab the video. It's right here, the MP4, and this will only pull the audio portion, which we have here.
And that, but and then he had a press conference in the Rose Garden.
So she does sound pretty slurred, and the entire length of the video, or the entire length of the clip, is just between 3 minutes and 3:15. So let's go ahead and increase the speed on this. It helps if I choose the right effect. Oh no, helps if I choose this clip to edit. Okay, so we need a multiplier of 1.33. And it's going to sound a little funny, but let's go ahead and play that back.
And then he had a press conference in the Rose Garden with all this.
And as you can see, we're now down to just past 2 minutes and 15 seconds. We're going to go ahead and change pitch. The pitch change we need is minus 33%. Actually, let's go ahead and undo that because I could have done that a little bit better. So we're going to do that 33%. We're going to use high quality stretching. It's going to take a couple of moments here to go through this. I probably should have done this beforehand. Let's kick this up a bit here. And I would cut this or modify this in the after of the video, but I just want to make sure that it's clear that I'm not doing any trickery. It's just going to be straight through and watching every step of the way. So let's go ahead and play that sound back.
And that, but and then he had a press conference in the Rose Garden with all this sort of visuals that obviously were planned long before I said most currently that he was engaged in a cover-up. So it's really sad. And here's the thing, and I told this to the room when he came in and made that statement. And then
well, the audio still sounds a bit off, but we're going to go with it. And since I already have the audio that I had earlier saved, I'm going to give this a different name. We're going to export this as a wave to making a video debunk.wave. I'm not going to give it any additional properties. Now, just to make it simple, we're going to go over here into this program called Kdenlive. And we're going to grab that audio. We're going to toss that down into an audio track here. And what you'll notice is that it just, once this is in a track and I hit play.
and that, but and then he had a press conference in the Rose Garden.
You can hear that it's still the same audio that I had previously. So let's go ahead and grab the video portion again, bring that in, and we're going to toss that down in here. And we're going to ungroup and remove the original audio and hit play again. We'll see that it loses sync really quick.
And then he had
it's because we still need to go into here and change our playback speed to 133%.
a press conference in the Rose Garden with all this sort of visuals that obviously were planned long before.
And sometimes there's a little bit of a rounding error here. So let's go ahead and see how close. Yeah, there's a bit of a rounding error. So we do need to speed this up a little bit. I'm going to guess it's going to be off by 0.01%. Oh, it's actually more than that. I apologize. We just need to get the audio and the video to fit together. There we go. So it was off by a fraction of a percent. So the real playback speed here is probably closer to 100.05%.
And that. But
of what
and
their
then
claimed
he had
original
a
video
press
is.
conference in the Rose Garden with all this sort of visuals that obviously were planned long before I said most currently that he was engaged in a cover-up. So it's really sad. And here's the thing. And I told this to the room when he came in and made that statement, and then he walked out, and you got the Secretary of the Treasury, you got all of this, that, and the other thing, and a distinguished group of members from the House and Senate, Democrats. Said, 200 years ago, Thomas Jefferson tasked his Secretary of the Treasury, the other one was standing right there, to develop a infrastructure initiative for America, to build into the Louisiana Purchase, the Lewis and Clark expedition. It was the Erie Canal, the Cumberland Road, all those kinds of things for America. 100 years later, Teddy Roosevelt instituted his infrastructure initiative, the National Park Service, the green infrastructure of America. And so and I said to them, and I said to the press after, we want to give this president the opportunity to do something historic for our country. While there are those in our family who think, why would you work with him if he, and basically he's saying back to me, why would I work with you if you're investigating me? But the fact is, something happened there. So I pray for him, and I pray for the United States of America. It's really, he walked away. Whether he ever intended to honor what he said before remains to be seen. But Democrats believe in building the infrastructure of our country, mass transit, roads, bridges, broadband into rural America, into underserved areas in our cities, wastewater, clean water, infrastructure of the satellites so that we can have precision farming. There's so many needs. And we thought we had some level of agreement, but you never know with this president of the United States. So that's what happened this morning. It was very, very, very strange. But
Okay, so I let that video play through all the way without speaking. That was intentional so that you could actually get a feel for what the video would be like at that playback speed. I'm not going to put any bias into this. I'm not going to state what I feel is true or false about this. But I really hope that it helps you to understand how a video can be manipulated to show something that may or may not be true, how you can evaluate this for yourself, and if there were any abnormalities in the final product, what else might have happened. Now, one thing I did notice, and this is just something I wanted to bring up, is there are a couple of times during the video playback that the voice and the audio lose sync, and it comes back and it goes again, which does indicate that maybe there was an inconsistent playback speed between the audio and the video, and when making changes that may have been altered. That may also be because I use two different programs to manipulate, and they have two different algorithms for rounding. One may be being based completely off from the video's original playback speed, and the frame rate of the video may vary from second to second, just slightly, and that can account for those differences in rounding. Once again, I'm not going to put any bias on it. I thank you for watching, and if you've made it this far, I would really appreciate a thumbs up, and I hope that you understand that this is not trying to infringe on anybody, this is not trying to prove anybody right or wrong. This is just simply looking at what may have happened and giving people the evidence that otherwise is not easily available to them. There are clip-its and there are claims that this is available on Washington Post, but if you don't pay for that, then, well, you're not able to get that information. So, thank you for watching, and have a great day.